everyone. It is Christmas Eve. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's Christmas week and I am Christmas decked out for you today. I've got my fascinator, I've got my llama Christmas sweatshirt, and I've got my little Christmas tree earrings. I'm ready. I'm ready for the day. I'm ready for the week. Everything is wrapped except one thing. Yeah, I think I'm ready for the big day. I hope you all are too. Hello, Michelle. Thank you so much. Hi, Eric. Eve, Christmas Eve. It is. And I can't think of a better way to start the Christmas week than right here at artbeads.com. I'm Deb Floros. This is Designing with Deb, and I'm so excited to be here this week and hang out with all of you guys. Hi, Joan. Thank you so much. Thanks for the hearts, everybody. So, yeah, it's Christmas week, you guys, and I need to know who's taking a moment this morning, who's with me, just to take a moment to maybe watch a little art bead show, maybe relax a little bit, have a little coffee, maybe make something with me. I don't know. Maybe you can make while we talk here. I would love to know where you are, where you're watching from, and maybe you've got a little bit of extra time this week, which you'll want to spend with family and friends, of course, but maybe you'll have an opportunity to make some things and to do some things for yourself, which would be really, really awesome. Hi, Santa Barbara girl. Merry Christmas. Oh, that's so sweet. Denise, good morning from Southeast Coastal Florida. I bet it's lovely there today. We've had record temperatures here in Arizona. So this sweatshirt's going to make me a little warm a little later. So I wanted to make sure I represented with llamas today because we are going to be making with the Bead Llama DIY jewelry making kit today. Nice and easy breezy today. But I was hoping that maybe if you guys are still on the fence at this time of year, that maybe you might pick up one of these kits or gift it to somebody because it is a really amazing kit. So before we get started, let's see who else is here. Jenna says, good morning from Spokane, Washington. Good morning. And, or Gina, good morning, everybody. So, before we start, if you're watching at artbeads.com/live, that is the place where I can see comments while we're live. Deborah Castelli is here from Colorado. Merry Christmas, Deborah. And you can share the love by clicking on the hearts, and you can shop the show. So in the show today, I've got both of the Bead Llama DIY jewelry making kits, the big kit and the stretch bracelet kit. And by now, if you have the kit, you might need some more beads. So I've got some Bead Llama bead kits or bead mixes for you in the show. So those are also in the shopping bag. If you click on that shopping bag at any time during the show, you can see everything that's in the show and you can start putting things in your shopping cart. That's fun. And I don't go away while you do that. You can shop away while we chit chat this morning and make some things. And good morning, Gelda. Merry Christmas to you too. Hello, Laura from Maryland. Happy holidays. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, I probably won't be able to see your comments live, but we can go back and check those later. But if you want to come over to artbeads.com, just if you're on Facebook, enter that code that's on the top of the screen in the comments. It'll bring you to Artbeads and you can hang out with us. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click on the link in the show information, the show description, and come on over and join us over here. Hello, Missy. Hello, Georgina. Unindicted conspirator says having a chili Yule in Coldwater, Missouri, I think it is. I get all confused with the M states. Anyways, I'm so glad you're all here. So I am going to, one more thing before we start. If you have been watching, or maybe you haven't been watching or haven't been looking at the website lately, we've been doing this little thing called Deal of the Day. And folks, these are amazing. Some of them have already sold out. If you go to artbeads.com, there's a banner in the middle of the screen. There's a very festive Santa Claus in the middle of the screen. And today's deal of the day is on your screen now. This is absolutely an amazing deal. So this is a Dakota Stones Impression Jasper with pyrite pendant set, and it's 7 pieces. And it's so colorful and joyful. I've worked with these Dakota Stones pendant sets, and they are absolutely amazing. They're amazing quality, and they're so fun to work with because you can break them up. You don't have to put it all together. You can use just the centerpiece. You can take the centerpiece out and put all the pieces on to beading wire, and you can put something else in the center, maybe a pendant or something else. You could use a couple of the side pieces, incorporate that into a fun design. So it's an amazing deal of the day. I was so shocked when I saw the price for this one. So yeah, it's a fun deal of the day. So check that out. If you put that in your cart, you won't be disappointed with that excellent deal. All right, I've been fast and furious talking. I'm going to flip my camera down. We're going to do some easy breezy making today. So let's flip down. And if you have not already joined us in the Bead Llama community, the introduction of the Bead Llama DIY jewelry making kits back in October was not just the introduction of a kit, but also an amazing community of bead llamas who want to learn how to make, want to learn how to make more, want to learn specific techniques, and want to do all kinds of fun things that we are cooking up for you. So there's a whole community involved in these kits, and I hope that you will join us. And I'm just going to flash the box really quickly. This is a huge box. It takes up more than my camera space to show, and it is chock full of amazing things, tools, findings, like little bead trays, some seed beads, amazing high-end quality seed beads from Toho. You've got bead strands, and you've got bead blends, charms, you name it. And I've been making with this box now for a while, even before the launch, and I'm still finding myself having a lot of fun with this box, enjoying all of the pieces and parts from it. My box on the inside looks a little crazy because I've been taking stuff out of it. But today I pulled out a mix, one of the bead mixes. And this one is purples and whites and blacks and grays. And I felt like this felt very wintry, very moody, but could also translate into other seasons. And depending how you put the beads together, this is, this is just a very versatile bead mix. I also pulled out some strands. You get a ton of strands. And I thought maybe we could incorporate some of these beautiful beads into what we're doing today. So I've got some beautiful white pearls and some fire polish. And these are just my absolute favorite. Look at these faceted check glass beads. These are super high quality beads. And by the way, the beads that are used in the kits are those amazing beads from the Art Beads warehouse that we dug through and found just for you, curated these mixes. They are, not to be found anywhere else. These blends are just blended up for the kits. And when these are used from the kits, there'll be new ones incorporated into the kits. There's also some focal beads that are included, and I pulled out these beautiful purple ones, and there are charms, and I love this one. I'm a big lotus flower fan, and this one is double-sided with that lotus design on it. So pretty. So I thought today we could just kind of make some bracelets. Easy breezy. It's a couple days before the big holiday, a couple of big holidays, actually Christmas and Hanukkah. So I thought we could just get going and make some bracelets. Go easy, just relax and have a good time. And I enjoy that all of you are here today. BJH, good morning. Thank you guys for being here. So we're going to make some bracelets, and I'm going to use most everything from the kit, but because we're about 2+ months since the launch, I'm going to show you how to incorporate just a few things that you might have in your stash or that you might want to pick up and incorporate into whatever you do with the kit. And those are also in the shopping bag today. So I'm going to move things around just a little bit for myself so I can get situated. Loretta says she's here. Good morning, Loretta. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to cut these strands so that I have these beautiful beads available to me. And look at these. These little white pearls are so classic, so pretty. Look at the luster on these guys. Wow. And they are not real pearls, of course, but they look just as good as real pearls. And these fire polish are kind of a Montana blue or like a blue gray. I thought that might work in at least one bracelet. So that's a really pretty little bead. Hello, Lois. Good morning and Merry Christmas to you too. And I'm going to cut my favorite strand here. These are just unbelievable beads. I mean, these go with just about everything, and they should. Like, I could roll around in a bathtub of these beads. I don't know about you guys, but certain beads make me think that way. Like, oh, if I just had all of these beads in the world, life would be grand. These are amazing. These are also fire polish, and these have a really cool AB finish. Hi, Naja. These have a really cool finish. They're like a purple and maybe like a light amethyst tone. So we've got these to work with. We've got these to work with. I'm going to put those over to the side here. And I've also got some of our Toho seed beads. These are a size 8. So they're a little chunky on the seed in the seed bead world. And if I can get this guy open without dumping it everywhere. Naja, you're in Puerto Rico. Merry Christmas. That's fun. I would love to spend Christmas in Puerto Rico. That would be fun. So I've also picked out a couple of Toho size 15s. Now, I'm trying to convert the beaders out there to using these tiny beads as spacers. We're going to do a little bit of that today. I know they can be intimidating, but this is going to add some interesting dimension to your designs. So I'm actually going to open up a few of these and get those out so that we can use these guys and maybe add some nice. These are nickel shaded 15s, and I might drop some white ones in the same container. Actually, I don't want to do that because I'm not going to use all of them. And then when I clean them up, it's going to be kind of crazy. But these beautiful white ones, they are opaque lustered white. They're a big, shocking kind of white. They're just really beautiful. So they're tiny, and I know they're not for everybody, especially if you're a beginner. You might not want to jump on the bandwagon, but I just want to show you today what you can do and what you can incorporate with the box, including some of those new beads that we are using today, or that we've got in the bag today. So I've got the wire from the kit, which is a Bead-A-Lon 7-strand, and I want to start with a design that incorporates these guys. So these are a hematite bead. They are a really interesting shape, and they're chunky, so they will be kind of a focal. And I absolutely love these as well. So these are really incredible. They're black, they're like a jet, and they're a rondelle shape, but they're large, and they're really, really gorgeous. So I thought it would be kind of fun to add maybe a dark focal, and we'll put some things in between these beads, and then we'll put other beads along on either side of the focal. So I think what I'm going to do is start by stringing this section. So I'm going to string from the package to get started. So I'm just going to put this on, and then I think what I'm going to do is there's the tiniest of beads in the mix, and it's kind of a purple and white combo. It's a little check glass bead. And I think before I do that, I'm going to use a couple of the white seed beads. So I'm going to drop a seed bead on after that big chunky bead. Let me get a little further up here, and then that little guy, and then this bead. So look at how the difference is there when you add a little bit of dimension there. So we're adding some tiny beads next to big and tiny beads. And now I'm going to put on the trio of little rondelles here, and I'm just going to string them on next to each other. I'm not going to put anything between them. I want those to be a really cool, look at the facets on those. Just a little cool focal part of this piece. Actually, I'm using the white dub, so let's go with a white. And then I'm going to grab another one of the small beads, small check fire polish beads out of this mix. And we've got this fun beaded section, and then put on our other hematite looking bead, and wow. So this is a cool, unique, fun, and funky bracelet focal. Now let's put some things on either side of this. So I'm going to pull out my wire, and I'm probably going to pull out more than I need. And I'm going to use one of the bead stoppers from the kit. You actually get, two of those in your kit, which is a great little extra for this kit. If you are just getting started, bead stoppers, if you don't know, are going to help you from having beads all over your floor, all stuck in the carpet, wherever beads can go, they're going to go if you don't use a bead stopper. So I'm going to hold my bead stopper right up against this side of the bracelet, and I'm going to start stringing this side. And because I'm using the white seed beads, I'm going to try and get that incorporated into all the beads that go on from here. Oh, Michelle, thank you. I see you're putting some info on seed beads there. Thank you so much for that. So I'm going to use these little beads on either side of the big chunky bead we've got there. And then I'm going to start getting a little bit bigger beads onto the strand. So if I can get that wire. Now, size 15 seed beads, guys, they absolutely fit on 7-strand beading wire, and they actually fit on larger beading wire too. All right, this is like a bicone-ish shaped bead. I'm putting that on next. It's very opalite looking, if you know that stone. And I'm going to use another small bead here, and then another seed bead. So I'm just kind of alternating beads. This is nice, easy breezy. And look at this. if the camera will focus. Look at this guy. This is an AB faceted rondelle. Wow, it is spectacular. Or no, it's a round. So that fooled me. That was like an optical illusion. So I'm bringing in some of the kind of clear-ish beads, tying in with the white and being kind of a stark contrast to that focal section of the bracelet. And I'm going to get these little fire polishes in between. So look at how we've got lots of different dimension, lots of different shapes. I think I'm going to take one of these little opalite looking rounds, and I need another seed bead before that. So I'm going to grab that. And you can actually, learn to use these seed beads just like regular beads, or you can pick them up off of your mat with with your beading wire if you get good at that. I'm not real good at that. I like them off of my finger. So I'm going to stop here and situate my my other bead stopper over on on that side, and I'm going to go back over here and replicate what's going on here on this side. So I'm going to put on my seed bead and then pull out. You get lots of these little fire polish beads here. So you could actually do a whole bracelet with them. I think you've got enough to do that if you like those little beads. They're really interesting beads. And they're, they're in this one-of-a-kind blend that you're going to get with the Bead Llama kit. So let me find another one of those optical illusion beads that I found earlier. I don't know if I have another one of those, actually. Do I? I think this one is. Yeah. No, that's not the same one. Let's see. I don't see another one of those. That's okay. I will replace it with a different bead. I actually think I'll use one of these frosty beads, and then we'll adjust on our other side there. So that one looks really cool, incorporating that light color against the dark that we're working with here. So let's get that one on. And then, you know what? There is one of those, actually. You know what? It really is an optical illusion. This one has a little bit more of a silver on it, but it's the same exact shape. So I'm going to put that on. I like that one, so I'm going to use it. And then put one of these guys on. Deb, want to do a trivia question? Yes, Eric. Am I coming up with the trivia question or are you coming up with the trivia question? Hello, Louise. Thank you for being here. Okay, when you're ready, just say so and we'll post a trivia question. Okay, let me just quickly flip this one over. So now we've got, I'm going to put this on the other side. We've got an almost completed bracelet. So I'm going to start working from both sides and finish this up. Eric, if you want to go ahead and put the question out there, go for it. Put the question out there. Let's see what we can get, folks. He says, whenever, no hurry. So I'm saying let's go for it now. So I'm putting on more beads here, guys. I'm contemplating different designs. Okay, here it is. What city and state did this year's Rockefeller Center Christmas tree come from? That's an awesome question because I remember seeing the story about that. Let's see. Michelle's got to get ready to find the right answer. You guys got to get your answer in the comments. If you're watching at artbeads.com/live, that's the place that we can see your comments. So folks are probably fast and furious trying to find the answer to that. Fast fingers are going to get something fun. Ready, set, type, Michelle says. Oh, Gelda's got an answer. Let's see if it's right. I don't remember, honestly. So I remember seeing the story, but I don't remember where it was. Anybody else gonna guess? Eric says it's a cute story. All right, I'm gonna pull this bracelet around. Let's get some more guesses out there, you guys. I think Eric's probably got something fun. Yes, they are Googling. Google is the help that we all need for everything, right? And I'm just gonna keep stringing this bracelet because we're just easy breezy making bracelets today. And finding all my matching beads to the other side. I missed the question. I think I can scroll back here and find it. What city and state did this year's Rockefeller Center Christmas tree come from? I see some more. I see an answer. I don't know if it's right. I see. Come on. There must be a lot of Googling going on. Or this easy breezy bracelet making has put everyone to sleep this morning. I'm sorry if that's happening. Oh, I see some more guesses. All right, I'm showing off the bracelet. Oh, we've got a winner. Denise H. Congratulations. Congratulations, Denise. I don't know what they've got cooked up for you, but I'm sure it's something good, something fun. And I still see guesses coming through. We've got a winner already, you guys. So I've got a bracelet strung up while we're at it here. And I'm going to use one other thing that I added to the show that you can add to your jewelry making cachet. I'm going to use some French wire. This is another thing that's kind of, here's the story. Let's read the story. The 2024 Rockefeller Center Christmas tree has sentimental roots. The tree was planted by the Albert family back in 1967 in West Stockbridge, Massachusetts, when Earl Albert and his wife, Leslie Albert, were still newlyweds. Oh, that is the sweetest story. Oh, yeah, that tugs at my heartstrings a little bit. And 1967 was a good year. Congratulations. That's a great story. That was a great question. So folks, we have French wire. French wire is typically used with thread when you are, like silk, when you are knotting pearls. And I put some in the show because this is an alternative to just putting your wire onto your clasp, just bare wire. Now, bare wire is perfectly fine. 7-strand beading wire is lovely. But I like to add a little bit more oomph to the wire because it's such a thin wire. I want something a little bit more substantive at the end of my design. Now, some people really enjoy wire guardians, but I like French wire. It's to me, a little bit, I don't know, a little less like rigid. So to me, it has just kind of a wire looking effect. So I'm putting that onto my wire after I put my crimp tube on. So I'm putting that on, and then I'm going to pull, and then I put my clasp on. Sorry, I have some lobster claws from the kit, and I'm just pulling that on until it creates a loop. So it's just giving me a nice space to attach my my lobster claw. It's giving me a little bit more texture, and it's a little more substantive than just using your wire. Now I'm going to grab the crimping pliers from the kit, and I'm going to very carefully get in. I don't want to crimp that. So I don't want to crimp the French wire. So I'm going to just crimp the crimp tube, and then I'm going to come around to the other side, making sure that I don't grab that, and I'm going to give that a squeeze. And now I've got a little something sort of decorative on my on the end of my bracelet, and that gives it a little bit more of a finished look there. This French wire is in the show today. I believe it's on the screen now. So if you want to go check out the information about the French wire, you can go check it out, and you can drop it into your cart and give it a try. I still say bare wire is perfectly fine for any of your designs, and wire guardians, if that's your preference, are also perfectly fine. But I really enjoy this as a little bit of an accent to my wire. So on the other side of my bracelet, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to create the loop, and I'll explain why in a second. So I'm going to put that wire down through that first bead, and then I'm going to pull that. Now I want to push down and get my bracelet so there's no gaps, but I also don't want to pull it so that it's too tight. So I want the bracelet to have good movement. If you crimp in a straight line, your bracelet's going to be too rigid. You risk breaking beads. So here's my little loop on the other side. Looks a little more substantive than just the bare wire. So, but we're going to add to it. I'll show you that in just a minute. So I'm just crimping and holding on to make sure that my wire is not crossed. And then I'm going to snip off my excess with the cutters that are in the kit. And I've got a bracelet here, but we're going to do one more thing. You will have in your kit, if you don't already have the kit, you've not seen it, you're getting a whole bunch of findings. And they are all separately packaged so that you can see them in these little plastic bags, which are reusable if you want to do that. And I'm going to take one of these. It is a split jump ring, so you can open it up. And I'm going to open up this jump ring. So I'm going to use my pliers, and I'm actually going to use my round nose to go on the other side here. Open that up. And then I'm going to put that right into this little loop that I created with my French wire. So I just created a little bit of a sort of decorative way to attach your jump ring. So that's what the other side will look like. These are nice, substantive jump rings as well, because they are kind of a chunky jump ring. So they're going to hold your lobster nicely. So here's our first easy breezy bracelet. We've got mostly kind of clear and opalite and all of that around the sides. I did drop in a little bit of purple, and then we've got this fun focal, which I'll show you on the wrist. That looks really fun and interesting. And if you're using a stack of, or you're making a stack of bracelets, this will be really a standout in that stack. Really interesting and unique. Lots of fun textures and all of that. So this is just one bracelet. Let's make another. And I thought this time we could use more of the purple tones, and we could also use this. So Nadja says, can you use crimp beads instead of French wire? Yes, so you don't need to use French wire. That's just a little accent I like to use, Nadja. And you can just put a crimp on and crimp. Maybe we'll do that for this next one. We'll do the next one without the French wire so you can see the difference. But I just thought I'd share that with you today in case you want to try it out. And so I think maybe something like this. So our little accent beads, which you'll get a variety of kind of bigger and more interesting beads in one of our little plastic containers. And you'll get some charms in the container as well. So I'm just going to string this up as my focal and show you how we're going to start this one out. And I'm going to start this again from the focal section. Let me get my tools out of the way here. I got everything all bunched up in front of me. So I'm going to put on one of these chunky guys, and then I'm going to introduce these nickel 15 seed beads. And then I'm going to add one of our size 8 seed beads so we can really get some cool dimensions. You can see we're just adding a little bit of separation between the beads with that 15. It just creates a little bit of an illusion, almost like you have a knot there. So I'm going to take right next to this 15, one of these beautiful purple rounds here, and I'm going to drop that on. So that's what we have here. And then I'm going to do 3 of the nickel seed beads, and they can be little buggers, but I hold them in my hand so that I feel like I can get a hold of them. So that's what that looks like. And then I believe my charm is going to go right over those. So I'm creating a little space on my wire so that this charm can move a little bit. What are the purple crystal called? So if you're asking, they're check glass. I don't know what that shape is called. It's a really unusual shape. Maybe Michelle knows. Maybe that's a shape that she has a name for. And let's see, by the white crystals look similar. I don't know what you're saying there, Rut, but maybe we can clarify what you're asking about. So I'm just putting the same pattern on the other side over here. And this is what we've got as our focal section. So that's fun and lots of purple here. And I think I'm going to go with this purple theme. So I'm going to use the 15s and the 8s to kind of be my continuity beads. So sometimes you can do one seed bead between beads. You could do a couple seed beads. You could do 3 seed beads, and I'm choosing to do 3, but have one of them be larger and be in the center there. So I'm going to grab another one of these, and I like this purple look. I think what I want to do now is introduce these lighter purple beads that are on my mat. It was one of the strands. So these are those incredible fire polish with that finish, that AB finish on them. So I'm going to introduce those into the mix here. So just kind of bringing in now some interesting texture and some interesting finish, and still using my spacers as that trio of seed beads. And then I'm going to pull in another one of the rounds. So look at the variation in the color, the texture, the shape. So we've got a really fun design here. And if you want to use any of these other bead mixes, so in the Bead Llama kit, you get a bunch of different bags of the bead mixes. And if you want to select one of the others, you just can kind of go with the same approach. You can grab a couple large beads, you can grab a charm, you can then start to pull some of the smaller beads from the mix and, use some seed beads, use your smaller beads. The sky's the limit. And you all may have slightly different beads because of, the timing of your kit, but you can certainly choose different colorways here and make your own design and make these just simple bracelets. So Nadja says, you make it look so simple. Sometimes I have trouble with the crimp beads or wire guards. It comes apart. That crimping is something that takes a little bit of time to master. And there's a great video out on where you find all the information about the bead llama. And maybe Michelle can pop that into the comments. There's a great video on using crimping, actually doing the action of crimping. When you introduce the wire guard, that adds another element of complexity, but it's certainly something you can learn. And I know Andrea Bieber loves the wire guardian. She's like the queen of wire guards. So she, in a lot of her videos, will share using wire guardians. So you can learn from some of her past videos if you want to go back and do them on demand at artbeads.com. But it does take a lot of practice. I'll tell you, I still once in a while really mess up a crimp and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened there? Like it takes a little bit of, practice and effort to get your crimping just right. And even then, sometimes things happen. Sometimes it's just not in the cards to make that particular one, but using a good quality crimp, a good quality wire guard will help. And take your time. Don't rush through that process of making jewelry. You want your crimp to hold your piece together. So take your time, Nadja, and practice a little bit. Sometimes if I'm working on a technique, I'll just say to myself, I've got to sacrifice some wire or some crimps or whatever it is, some cording that I'm working with, just so I can, get some practice in and get good at whatever it is I'm trying. So it takes time, but this Bead Llama kit, I think really helps people to get started because we've got tons of content. Oh, Michelle, thank you so much you translated her question. I wasn't following the question. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. And it looks like we don't have a name for that bead. Some of these beads have been around a long time, so we may not even have the info on the beads, right? They just, yeah. So this is what I've got so far. I think this is probably about the right length. So I'm gonna put my other bead stopper on. Oh, I like this. I really like this. And this is a great piece with a little movement on it. So that's going to be your focal. And because this charm is double-sided, if it flip-flops around, you're not going to have to worry about that charm looking funny if you worry about those things. So I'm going to do this without French wire so you can see the difference, and I'll show you the difference. I'm just going to even out my wire a little bit here. So I've got roughly the same amount of wire on either side. Not that that matters terribly, but I'm going to grab my crimp tube. So I'm keeping these crimps in here because I'm afraid they're going to fly all over the place. So you're just going to put your crimp tube on, let the camera focus. So you're going to put the crimp tube on, and then you've got a lobster. I always test my lobsters, make sure they work first, because every now and again, you never know, you might get one that just didn't come through manufacturing right. So that looks good. And I'm going to take my wire and put it down through the crimp and down through the first bead, just because I like to have a little bit of leverage. And then I'm going to pull my wire down till I have a nice size loop, not too big, not too small. What you want to make sure is you're not choking this lobster. You don't want this to be so tight that your lobster doesn't move. So this is, I'm feeling good about this. I might shorten it up just a little bit more. So that's what we look like. That looks perfectly fine like that without the French wire. So you do not need it. And it's not in the kit. I just wanted to show folks that you have an option that you might want to add in. So I'm going to do the first part of my crimp and then the second part of my crimp, and then I'm free to trim off my excess. So let that camera focus. So just like that. So it looks great without French wire. Nobody wants to choke a lobster. You're right, Santa Barbara girl. I will never be accused of choking a lobster. No way. Not going to do it. So we've got one side on, and Eric, PETA has described lobster choking as a crime, so don't do it. Thank you guys for humoring me with that. That is all. I'm all about that humor. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I love lobster, by the way. Who doesn't love a good lobster roll? If you live in the Northeast, you probably have had a lobster roll or two. All right, I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the other side, but without the French wire. So you can put the jump ring on first if you would like, or you can just create your loop. And I'm going to do that first. I'm just going to create my loop. And I'm going to put the wire on or down through my crimp, and I'm going to pull down. It's hard to see this wire. It's so shiny. I'm going to pull that down till I've got a nice loop, but not too big, not too small. You've got more room, or you have less metal when you've got a jump ring than you do with a lobster. So you could have a smaller loop here if you'd like. So I'm just going to situate that, get it a little bit smaller, and hold that with my fingers. And then I'm going to come in with my crimping pliers and get that crimped nice and tight. And these crimps that you have in your kit are really nice crimps. So I'm going to pull my wire backwards, and I'm going to cut that with my cutters. And then I'm going to add my jump ring. So I'm going to come over and grab another jump ring out of the package. And again, these are super nice jump rings. They are nice and substantive, so they're going to hold your lobster really nicely. So I'm going to open that up, twist, and then I'm going to put that right onto my loop. And then I'm going to come in with my pliers again and close that. It will allow me to make sure I've got that jump ring closed nice and tight. So I don't make sure I do that, because sometimes the manufacturer will not close them completely. So here's what we've got. We've got a really pretty purple lotus bracelet. I think this is a great winter look, but also carries you through all of the other seasons as well. Kind of a 3 or 4 season bracelet, depending on what you like. And we've got a second bracelet here. So I think we can quickly at least start another bracelet. because I know all of you probably have things to do today on Christmas Eve. So I'm going to just do a really easy peasy piece here. I'm going to do a series of 3 seed beads, and then I'm going to do these frosted beads from the blend and put on my seed beads and another one of those guys. So this is the combo of those really pretty 15 O's and those frosty beads. This almost looks like snow to me, so I thought we could take the approach of maybe this is like a snowball bracelet. And I know I'm going to need 2 of these for my other side, so I'm making sure I have enough to do what I want to do. So that's something I like to do when I'm creating. If I don't know how many beads I'm going to use, I'll set them off to the side so I know I've got enough when the time comes to add them on the other side. My camera is not wanting to focus on that. All right, so let's do, I'm going to pull in, we've got a few of that shape. So I might pull those guys in. I also really love these opalite ones that we used before. So I think I have an idea here. All right. So I've got 3 seed beads. I'm going to put on this opalite bead, this little bicone, fun bicone piece. And very Wonderland, very ice storm. I know ice storms are a bad thing, but it's looking icy. Maybe not ice storm. That was kind of bad. Sorry about that, because I know ice storms are terrible. So I'm going to put another one of those on. So I'm doing like trios of beads. And if you're creating a bracelet stack, something that I like to do is do, a couple bracelets that have some fun focal sections, but then maybe some simpler ones. So I think I might introduce just a little bit of, I've got a few of these gray beads, a couple of them, but I'm going to put one on here, and that will look cool. Santa Barbara Girl says, Lloyd says, you got that right. Now, if you could just nail down the wire wrapping. Yes. Santa Barbara Girl, Snowman Wonderland. Yes. I think that could very well be what we've got here. So I'm going to put 3 of these on. I've got 3. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to do a little bit of bead blocking. So I did a show a while back where I don't know if bead blocking is a thing, color blocking is a thing, but I'm calling it a thing where I'm just adding blocks of beads and just kind of doing trios. You can do more than 3, you can do less than 3, but the continuity throughout is our seed bead. And I chose the white 15 O's. They're not in your kit, but you can add them to your cart and have these for fun designs. These are really interesting beads if the camera will focus. They're like a little, almost like a square, a square disc. And they've got kind of wavy edges. A trio of be just really fun, different. And I'm spying what else I want to add. And I think I gotta go with these over here. These white little pearls. So if these don't look like snowballs, I don't know what they look like. They are so pretty, so sweet. So we're going to do a block of those and have some fun with this one. This one, like if you've got bracelet stacks that you already throw on every day, maybe you have your standard stack, like this can go with just about anything because it's, it's a clear and white kind of neutral look. Really fun. So I'm going to actually put a stopper on this end, and then I'm going to cut from the package over here. I always work from the spool if I can, but sometimes like we started with, I don't know what my design is going to be. So I'll start from the focal if I know that's what I want to do. So here's that. I'm just going to add 3 seed beads to the end of this one, and we will have a strung bracelet. And this will be my 3rd bracelet for our little bracelet trio. So that's what we got here. That is really lovely. I really like this combination of beads. So in this blend that was in the kit, there's so many shapes, and I didn't even use all the shapes. So yeah, Denise, I'm loving that too. Just different whites and clear, and the white seed beads create like just almost a chain effect all the way around. So I'm going to close this off off air, and I'll post a little video of these, but this is just some fun bracelet stack, bracelet making with the Bead Llama DIY jewelry making kit. If you want to do this kind of a design in a stretch form, you can get the stretch cord bracelet DIY jewelry making kit. You won't be able to use 15s for that, but you will be able to use the 8s and create some spacers in between all of your beads. And there are so many other possibilities here just in this here. And this isn't all the beads from the kit either. So I'm going to make one last plug for the year. Like the DIY jewelry making kit, the Bead Llama, is amazing and has so many creative possibilities. And whether you're a beginner or an experienced jewelry maker, you're going to find some inspiration. You're going to find some fun things to work with. You're going to get some extra tools and some extra findings. And it's an opportunity to stock up on lots of things. So guys, I'm going to flip up here. And I'm not as sweaty as I thought I would be. We haven't hit 70 yet today. So here's my Bead Llama Christmas sweatshirt. And if you didn't see me in the beginning, I've got all my gear on for the holidays. I wanted to be extra festive for you this morning. But guys, don't forget to check out the deal of the day. It is an amazing opportunity. The price is unbelievable. And if you're still on the fence about the Bead Llama DIY jewelry making kit, now's the time. Drop that in your cart. Do something for yourself or gift it to someone because there's still time to do that. And gosh, you guys, I'm not going to see you before the holidays. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays to all of you guys. I'm so grateful that all of you join me every week and join us here at artbeads.com. You'll still see some shows this week, and you might see a special surprise on the holiday. But I'm so grateful for all of you. Merry Christmas. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you next week where we'll almost be to the new year. All right, you guys, have a great one. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the time with your family.